Dark Souls is hands down one of the most influential video games that I've ever played. This is a game that has influenced the way in which I look at video games, the way in which I play video games, and probably most importantly, the way in which I create content around video games. Indirectly, I believe it most likely influenced quite a few of you, because I remember reading through my comment sections, a lot of you guys saying that you were introduced to the Souls series by me and thanking me for showing you guys that this game is not as impenetrable as a lot of people would have you believe for some strange reason. I don't know why a lot of people are like, oh my god, this game's like impossible. Oh yeah, the hardest game of all time, is when in reality, it's not even close. It is just an extremely rewarding game, not necessarily a hard game, a challenging game, but also a fair game. But before Dark Souls, there was another game, and that game was introduced to me by a close friend of mine, and that game is Demon Souls.
Smack your peasy ass head, bitch! Look at you now!
Okay, fine. I understand that for a lot of you guys, Demon Souls is your true love when it comes to the Souls franchise, and I respect that. When it comes to me, I still hold a high preference for Dark Souls. I just kind of feel that it was a more concise product. It was a more polished product, and to me the combat and the story and just about everything about Dark Souls felt better than Demon Souls. That's not to say that Demon Souls is a bad game, not by a long shot. Demon Souls, as well as Dark Souls and most of the games in the Souls franchise, as far as I'm concerned, they are masterpieces. Naturally, Dark Souls 2 might be the worst masterpiece in the middle of all those, but still a pretty good game nonetheless. Hashtag for ring slots, har har har. But getting back to Demon Souls was actually introduced to me by a friend of mine, like I said, and this was the same friend who tried introducing me prior to that to Monster Hunter. And this is a cool little story that I figured I would tell as a bit of a precursor to the remaster of Dark Souls, kind of like my origin story in the Souls franchise, so to speak. But let's go back to the friend of mine who was trying to sell me on Monster Hunter before all this stuff kind of began, so to speak. So I'd always heard this friend of mine talk about Monster Hunter. Now, the Monster Hunter that he was talking about at the time was Freedom Unite, even though he himself played extensively Monster Hunter 1, Monster Hunter 2, and anything that came in between. I don't know what else was released in the West until Freedom Unite. But this friend of mine would always tell me about how amazing it was. And I didn't own a PSP. I didn't even own a PlayStation. I didn't even own a console at that particular time because my parents, they didn't really believe in consoles. They were like, you cannot work in console with a console, so you should just use a computer. And I was like, okay. So I played video games on a computer. That's pretty much how that went. So parents, if you think the same way that my parents thought, it's like, I'm just giving you the counterpoint. That's the way that we see it. That's fine. I'll just play video games on this thing. I'm going to find a way to play video games, whether it's on consoles or on PCs. But anyway, so I played extensively on PC, which is why I was big into World of Warcraft at the time. So my friend kept trying to sell me on Monster Hunter, and eventually I bought a Wii because literally everyone and their mothers, and I do mean literally because their mothers also bought this particular console. Literally everyone and their mother bought a Wii, am I right? Everybody owned the Wii. And eventually Capcom brought Monster Hunter to the Wii, which is kind of weird because Wii is an extremely casual console, so to speak, and to bring such a hardcore game into that casual console, kind of weird. Then again, the fact that I would buy a casual console, also kind of weird. I don't know. The Wii is just a very weird time for me because I was getting back into console gaming, and that was the console that I got. But so I was, when Monster Hunter got announced for the Wii, I was telling my friend, okay, so you keep telling me this game is great. Should I get it? And he's like, oh, dude, you should totally get it. It's fucking amazing. Best game you've ever played. It's so good.
These amazing hunting grounds can only be found on the Wii. In life, they're hunters. And then they're monster hunters. And then there's wee little babies crying for their mom.
And I bought Monster Hunter Tri for the Wii, and I hated it. I thought it was a terrible game because I didn't understand. I just did not have a Monster Hunter background, therefore I did not understand what was the point. And the more I played it, the more I was like, dude, I hate these controls. I was playing it with the Joy-Con and not Joy-Con. What? Damn it! I even forgot the Wiimote and the nunchuck back in the day. So I was playing it with the Wiimote and the nunchuck, and I'm trying to figure out these controls, and you guys know that the old Monster Hunter controls were already kind of weird. Now imagine that with a Wiimote and a nunchuck if you've never played it. And I cannot get into it. I hate this game. And then it's like every time you go to a different zone, it loads into a different... Now, dude, no, this game is terrible. Like, you are a bad friend for telling me to buy this video game. And then fast forward a couple of years later, and this friend of mine is trying to sell me on this other game called Demon Souls, right? And he's just like, oh, dude, this game's amazing. People can invade you and they can kill you. I was like, you're not really making a good case for this game. And it's like, oh, no, dude, you don't understand. There's bloodstains in the ground, and you can see the way in which people died. And I was like, you're still not doing a good And it's like, oh, but the visuals, the game looks amazing, and there's these really great boss fights that are really super hard. And I was just like, dude, eventually he actually showed me the game itself, and he was playing the game. He had imported the US version because there wasn't... the way that Demon Souls released, for those of you that don't know, Demon Souls originally only released in Japan because From Software didn't actually believe in Demon Souls, which is why Miyazaki was allowed to basically spearhead the whole project. At least I think that's what it was, because I remember doing a little bit of research on that. But anyway, that's like a whole different story. But basically, initially it only released in Japan, and it was a massive hit. So then they decided to release it on the US, and that's when my friend imported it over from the US to Europe, because the game only really released in Europe, when was it? It was either 2009 or 2011, to be honest, I don't remember. But I know that there was like a 3-stage release. It was first in Japan, then US, and then Europe. And so my friend was showing me the US version he was playing, and I was like, oh, I like these visuals. Because I liked RPGs, right? I like these visuals. I like the way the game looks. I like the weight of the combat. Looks like it'd be fun. And I didn't own a PlayStation 3 at a time, and I was considering buying a PlayStation 3 because I kind of felt like I had outgrown the Wii. Because the best game that I ever played on the Wii, by the way, for those of you that are curious, is a game called No More Heroes, okay?
And there he was, this cat, well-dressed, cool, couldn't tell if he was the shit or just plain all shit. Yeah, so he's styling, fast, aggressive, and packing heat. Bada bing.
No More Heroes, to me, was the epitome of what the Wii could be. It had motion controls when you needed motion controls, and then it had like regular controls when you needed regular controls. It didn't exaggerate the waggle, which is what a lot of video games did when it came to the Wii. So No More Heroes is my favorite Wii game. But anyways, moving onwards, I kind of felt like I had outgrown the Wii because there was only one No More Heroes.
It's called fashionably late face. And in case you're wondering, I'm even stronger now.
There were no other games that really compared all that well to No More Heroes, that kind of game that I wanted. And I kind of felt like, okay, if I want more games like this, I need to go into one of these other two consoles. I either go to the Xbox 360 or I go to the PlayStation 3. And then I start weighing the pros and cons of each console. And ultimately, the reason I ended going with the PlayStation 3 was Demon Souls, because my friend showed me Demon Souls, and I was very much like, I was taken aback when I saw that game for the first time, and I saw him play it, and I was just like, dude, this game looks amazing. So it was Demon Souls, and then it was Wipeout, because I loved Wipeout. I don't know how many of you guys out here are fans of Wipeout. I fucking love that game. And then there was God of War. Because I also liked the violence, because my friend also showed me God of War, and I loved the violence that was present in God of War. Speaking of which, the new God of War is fucking amazing, by the way. Eventually I was like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to buy a PlayStation 3. So I bought the PlayStation 3, and it came with Uncharted 2. Which, by the way, also an amazing fucking game. But eventually I bought the PlayStation 3 and I started playing Demon Souls, and that's kind of how I began with Demon Souls. So there's this friend of mine who is really enjoying Demon Souls, and I like Demon Souls so much that essentially I played enough Demon Souls to finish the game, and then I had to create another character to play co-op with my friend because I was far too advanced, and I would just like carry the fuck out of everything the way that I was playing. But that's how I got introduced to Demon Souls. So essentially, when I heard that there was another game by the same guy and it was called Dark Souls, I was like, dude, I want it. I need to get it. Day one. I know that I'm going to love it. I know it's going to be amazing. And that's when it really clicked. When I finally got around to playing Dark Souls, I was just blown away by this game. And it became a thing for me to kind of just like play it and show people that the game is not as hard or impenetrable, or, you know, because like people, they have this tendency to kind of segregate themselves when they find something that is niche. Whereas me, I have the exact opposite tendency. I want to share. I like sharing stuff with other people. Like it was the same way for me in World of Warcraft, for instance. A lot of people would not play tanks in World of Warcraft, and tanks would almost be relegated to this thing where it's like, oh my god, he plays a tank, this big dude, you know, he plays a fucking tank, man. Not everybody can play a tank. And the first time that I played a tank in World of Warcraft, I was like, this is it. Like, really? This is what people all go on about and be like, oh my god, he's super skilled because he plays a tank. Bunch of bullshit. Come on, tanking's not that hard. Get over yourself, you fucking arrogant prick. So that was one of the things that I did as well in World of Warcraft, was I tried teaching people how to tank so that anyone that wanted to could tank. And that's just kind of like, I think it's just a natural thing that I have in me, that I like sharing, and I like showing people that things are not as hard as people think. Like, you know, playing video games is not hard. People like to put themselves on pedestals whenever they do something truly amazing. And there are things that people do that are impressive. Like the people that do hitless runs and whatever when they're running through a Souls game, like that to me is impressive. But there are other things where like someone just goes, oh, I beat the boss in this super hard video game. And then you're like, oh, video game. And what I'm trying to say is that Dark Souls was almost presented in a way by a lot of people that it was an impenetrable game when it wasn't. It really wasn't. The only hard thing about Dark Souls is understanding the game's mechanics. So I was looking for a video that I wanted to show you guys for this next part of the story, and literally tears of laughter came down my eyes as I was watching this particular video. Hopefully you guys will share that with me once I show you guys the footage. But this is something that happens every now and then, because just like I told you guys right now, that I don't think Dark Souls is a particularly hard game. And a lot of you guys know this because you've seen my videos and you yourselves play the game or something like that. But a lot of the people that haven't actually played the game and they just see the videos, they're always like, oh my god, this game's so hard, it's ridiculous. And whenever I happen to meet with someone and that topic of conversation comes up and someone's surprised when I tell them that the game is actually not that hard, people will always come back at me and be like, what are you talking about? It's not that hard. It's ridiculously hard, dude. And here's the thing. There's this example that I always like to bring up. There's a friend of mine. You guys might know him. We did the Mighty Monster Hunter series together, which, by the way, a lot of you guys keep asking me for more Mighty Monster Hunters. Like, look, Hengist is kind of burnt out on Monster Hunter, and I'm not going to force my friend to play a video game just so that I can keep making a series on YouTube. If he's burnt out, I'm not going to force him to play the game. If eventually he comes back to me, he's like, dude, let's play some more, then we'll do more. But until he comes out of that burnout of his, we're not going to do that. But anyway, Hengist and I did a series a while back when we were still working for Broadband TV. We did a series where I was teaching him how to play Dark Souls. And when I say I was teaching him, I wasn't leading him, like telling him, go here, do this, go here, do that. What I was doing was just kind of explaining to him the nuanced mechanics of combat, like how to parry, how to attack with two hands, how to switch between two-handed, one-handed, the advantages of one or the other, how to upgrade your weapons, basically just how to actually play the game, the mechanics of the game. I was not guiding him. I was not telling him strategies on how to defeat bosses. None of that. I was not spoiling the game for him. I was just, whenever he had a question, I was there and I'd be like, okay, this is how this particular mechanic works. Which to me is the only real difficulty of the Souls series, is understanding those mechanics. And so there's a fight that I know that a lot of you guys probably heard about, the Smough and Ornstein fight, which is considered by many to be like the first real boss fight in Dark Souls, the first real hard fight in Dark Souls. And it took me quite a few hours to actually beat him on the first time that I came across Smough and Ornstein. Now, Hengist, because I told him how the mechanics of the game worked, he went in there, and this is what happened.
I'm going to top myself off here, because I'm assuming this is a boss.
I
Let's see what he's
don't know,
made
big ass door. Who knows?
Let's see. Ugly, ugly bitch. Smough, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's he?
He's Ornstein.
They're going to team up against me.
Yeah, dude, that's why me and Pallytime did the Smough and Ornstein playthrough.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, what the fuck?
Dude, he's fucking dead. He's
Oh, my God, what the fuck?
He's so dead. Staggered him twice.
God.
Did it.
Oh my God, no! What the fuck?
Dude, Ornstein, I want to give that. That fucking loser. He just came at me like he was on speed or something.
Fucking God. So I swear to God, I never showed Hengist how that boss fight worked. I never told him what happened in that boss fight. I didn't even told him that that boss fight was there. Everything that you see in that video is real. And I know that a lot of you Souls veterans out there are going to come out and you're going to start saying, oh, but he had the Black Knight Halberd, and that Black Knight Halberd is overpowered, and it's this and that and the other. It's like, look, it is a weapon. It is in a video game. I did not tell Hengist, go here, kill this guy. He's going to drop a weapon. Hengist came across the Black Knight. Hengist wanted to kill the Black Knight. You guys can look at that playthrough. Maybe I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to watch that. He came across that Black Knight. He killed that Black Knight. A weapon came out. That's all there is to it. I did not lead him there. I did not tell him to go there at any point. It just happened naturally like that. And when he got to Smough and Ornstein, he beat the fuck out of those two with that particular weapon. So that is the first time that he is facing off against that boss. And not only it's funny as hell, but it is also just, in my opinion, a really good analogy for just how hard this game is, which it really isn't. It really isn't. And, but yeah, I don't want to harp on the difficulty all that much. But essentially what I'm trying to say is that if you've never played Dark Souls before, you should definitely do so now with the remaster. At least, in my opinion, like, I know that a lot of you guys have found a lot of games through me. Potentially most of you that have found me and were either already playing Souls or maybe you were introduced to Souls by me. If there's any of you out there that still hasn't played Souls, I can't recommend it enough. And I was very saddened when I heard that the Switch version got delayed, because that is hands down the version that I'm most excited to play, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be playing Dark Souls the first time over there. And you guys are like, are you going to gank the newbies? No, I don't want to gank them. I want to help them. I want to see how people tackle this game for the first time. I want to see a whole new community embrace this game, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And if you are someone that wants to get on the Switch, my advice is wait. I mean, if you haven't played it until now, you can't be in much of a hurry because it's been available. So it's like you can't be in super much of a hurry. If you were not going to get it on Switch, then still get it on wherever platform you're getting it. I definitely want to play on PS4 because I know that a lot of the Iron Breakers have a PS4. I'm going to try to play it on PC as well if I can get that version. And I definitely am going to play it when it comes out on the Switch as well. That is just something that I'm going to be doing. And a really good thing to me is the fact that I actually haven't played Souls in a while. Like, sure, we played Bloodborne while we were waiting for Monster Hunter World. We played a chunk of Bloodborne. I ended up never really doing the New Game Plus 7 playthrough. But that might still happen eventually. But the thing is, I think it's going to be a lot fresher to me playing this remastered version, having not played Dark Souls for so long. And all I can really say is the Souls break is almost over. It's really close to Dark Souls coming out. And I've had a lot of people ask me about the whole playthrough thing, and I got to tell you guys, I'm still very confused as to how I'm going to be managing that stuff because of the way the YouTube algorithm works and how it punishes you for doing stuff like that. I just don't know. I just don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing, you guys. It's like, I'm sorry. You guys, do I look like someone that has a plan? Because I really, really don't. Anyway, I hope that this story brings a little bit of joy to your day. Today, I woke up and I've been suffering from my allergies quite a bit. You guys might have noticed that I've been scratching my nose a lot. It's because friggin' allergies, they're killing me, man. But I just felt like talking about Dark Souls for a bit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comment section below. And I have one more question. One more question before we leave. There's been some really good remasters that we've had, one of which is actually this one. I haven't even opened this box yet, by the way. This right here is the Shadow of the Colossus. Now, the first time that Shadow of the Colossus got released in February, well, the only time that the remaster got released in February this year, something happened with my press kit. It got lost somewhere in the mail or something. I don't know. I never received it. So I never really did an unboxing of this. I still don't know what's inside this box because I was saving it for doing an unboxing with you guys. But eventually they sent me another press kit so that I could just have it because I'm a huge fan of Shadow of the Colossus. But it's like with the remasters that have been happening, like we've gotten Shadow of the Colossus, we're getting Dark Souls. Recently, we've also had Wipeout Omega Collection. And it's like with all these remasters, I was thinking, dude, there is one game that I would really, really like to see a remaster of. And I want to talk about that particular game on my next video. And I want to know if you know what game that is. And it's not Demon Souls. I'm telling you guys right now, it's not Demon Souls because there's already rumors that there's probably going to be a remaster of Demon Souls. Whether those rumors are true or not, I don't know. But it's not Demon Souls. Because I've played, I don't even know how many hundreds of hours of Demon Souls already. So I will play it again if there is a remaster. But I'm just letting you guys know it's not Demon Souls. There is one game that I'm thinking about right now, and I would really love to see a remaster of that game. And I want to know if you guys can figure that out in the comment section below. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, hit the bell icon for the notifications and all that stuff, because otherwise YouTube's not going to send you my videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one.